Let us understand more insights on digital marketing.
I have been in the digital marketing for about 15 years. When I came to Dubai, it was a bit of a roller coaster ride for me. I had that, of course, that gene of, setting up my own office, my own company.
What are the significant trends in digital marketing?
Now, Facebook is bringing a lot of automations to its meta channels. So, what your creatives needs to be super strong.
What are the different marketing strategies?
How you see these stores in malls in Dubai, because they're fashion first, they're not tech first. So that is where we come in. Any of these things fall, then your business will
Eventually
go down.
decline,
Yeah.
correct. Or what are the skills these students need to develop?
Things evolve so fast. Keep learning, keep educating themselves. How can I set up a Shopify store? How do I learn digital marketing? What is SEO? That there are a lot of opportunities and possibilities that can reshape your entire personality.
Hello everyone, welcome to Britts Talk episode 9. This is Jazeel Mubarak, your host today from Britts Imperial University College, a faculty member, School of Management. Today we have an interesting guest, Mr. Raheel Mushtaq, founder, Right Media Advertising. Let us go through this journey and understand more insights on digital marketing and about entrepreneurship. So, before myself introduce him, let us hear from him directly. Mr. Raheel, can you introduce yourself and share a bit about your background and journey as an entrepreneur?
Thank you for having me today, Mr. Jazeel. This is an honor for me to be here today. My name is Raheel Mushtaq, and I am the founder of Right Media Advertising. I've been running the operations in UAE for about 2 years, and I have this company set up in 2 countries and having over 20 employees. I have been in the digital marketing for about 15 years now, and having worked across different digital marketing industries like e-commerce and media and advertising. My aim is to grow my business by more than 100% in terms of employees by the year 2025. And this is my goal right now, and I'm hoping that I can achieve this with the help of my employees, my colleagues, and looking forward to work with more clients in the region and be able to scale and grow the company along with the startups and the companies and which I'm working with.
Mr. Raheel, that's a fascinating journey in 2 years' time and what you have done. It's great to hear, Mr. Raheel. So, having said that, we would love to hear from you what inspired you to start your business and the key moments that shaped your path, and what was the biggest challenge that you faced in the early stages before you moved on to this venture?
So yeah, look, having set up my own company is not more than a miracle itself, because I had that, of course, that gene of setting up my own office, my own company, and I had that vision. But the thing is that there are a lot of issues for people when they're working in Dubai. They face a lot of difficulties in terms of their growth and journey. So what happened with me was, when I came to Dubai, it was a bit of a roller coaster ride for me. So I have moved from multiple companies, but the reason for that was not always about me itself. It was more about the stability. So what happened was that when I was starting my own company, this was a time when I took a step back, and I was literally at a position where I had really good opportunities coming to me in terms of the jobs, but there were also some possibilities of clients who wanted to work with me, seeing my past successes with the brands working like the Giving Movement as the head of digital. So people saw this to me, and then a lot of people wanted to work with me. So what I did was, I set up my own trade license in UAE, and then I started working with, let's say, 2 clients, and I was able to make up to my 70% of the salary that I was getting. So this is where things started to become interesting for me, and I was able to start working with these clients and then build a strategy around it of how I can acquire more and more customers. And I literally started working alone, and then as I scaled up, I started hiring people to help me support that. And that is something that I see to be a very important factor, that when you're working alone, it's a very different ballgame. But when you start to develop a team, you need to have really strong people along with you, and those people will help you grow your business as well. So you need to have really good people that works with you, and that's how I started my journey. But it was, as I said, not more than a miracle, because it was not a planned thing, but it was a step back. So when you are at a ground zero, there's a very good opportunity for you to step back and bounce, way ahead of what you're doing. So I did that. I took a risk. I took a leap of faith, and then this is where it got me.
That's fascinating, Mr. Raheel. In a 2-year time span, you just told us the hardship that you faced and the leap that you took behind was the key. And moreover, you discussed about working as a team. It's not about an individual effort, it's a collective effort where a team plays a major role. Having said that, there's a clause, together everyone achieves more. That's what the term suggests itself. So having said that, in your past as well as in the present, by looking into the aspect of digital marketing, the domain that you work in, what are the significant trends in digital marketing right now, and how do you see them evolving in the next few years, let's say in the upcoming years?
So since I started working in digital, things have changed a lot. There have been a lot of updates in terms of the SEO, in terms of digital marketing as a whole. So what we do as in the main is we work with a lot of D2C brands, which is direct to consumer brands, and these brands have direct performance marketing goals, and they would like to see their ads bringing revenue. Now this as in itself has been challenging since the update of Apple iOS, which is bringing more privacy, and then there are some more updates in terms of the privacy, cookieless, and all these things are happening. So what happens is that the measurement becomes more and more difficult. So right now there are a lot of different trends of how people are overcoming it.
Yeah, precisely, if you could tell some of the trends that you see today.
Yeah, so one of the things that's majorly happening is a lot of content generation and content production which is going on. So this has been in the talks for about a lot longer, but now it's becoming more and more mandatory for people to come out, and companies cannot just rely on, let's say, one or two mediums. They have to become like a media company, so that they're generating more and more content, and the more the content they create, like with for example, the span of users are getting lower and lower, so people are on TikToks and Instagram,
all the social media channels you're referring
YouTube shorts, all of these things. So what this does is, this is the main channel that is being right now associated more with the younger audience, and that is where you have to make an impact.
So you say that social media plays a pivotal role in shaping the digital marketing campaigns that you're running currently?
For sure, because the reason for that is because mainly due to the creative editing. Now Facebook is bringing a lot of automations to its meta channel. So for example, you can previously, if you needed to have very experienced digital marketing of 8 years, 10 years to build the campaigns. Now users who have generally started working on meta, they can also start to work on the campaigns. They can build the structure around it, and Facebook is making it easier for those users
with the tools and techniques that they
exactly with the AI is involved and all that. So even the copy generation on meta right now can be done on meta itself with an AI content generation. So that
you don't have to use technically a third-party content generator. Within the meta itself, you
can do it. So how that reshapes it is, of course, you still need to have a creative mind behind it.
True.
So that is taking more over. So the creatives play a very pivotal role. They play maybe like 70% of the role in making a consumer buy a product. So what your creatives needs to be super strong. Your content
super smart,
has to
I believe, as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
So if that content can communicate with the audience properly, that content will generate the sales by itself. And that is why I would advise most of my clients to have work on very strong creatives, and that is also something that we provide as an information, and we provide support to the client to be able to generate better creatives on their end and content as a whole. So that's why I said content production, and companies should act more like a media company and not just D2C brand, but every other brand.
Yeah, correct.
So this is
that's wonderful. That's nice to hear, Mr. Raheel. So having said that, you said that you are in the industry for the past 2 years. What are the different type of business portfolios that you're currently managing? And in that case, what are the different marketing strategies that you use for each of these verticals that you manage?
So right now, what we're doing with most of these, so number one, the clients that we're working with are mostly, as I said, D2C brands, but they are also on offline brands. So what my
Is
goal
it
is,
okay that you could reveal some of the names?
yes. So my goal, I will tell you. So my goal is to bring offline brands to online, and then they start. So there are a lot of brands offline which do amazing sales in the stores and every other place, but they do not have that digital strong presence.
Yet the presence is not
Exactly.
there.
So that digital transformation of any brand, that is what I'm working on. Some of the most famous brand, like the number one brand that I can talk about is the Bayara. If you know the brand called Bayara, the spices, nuts, they sell these things, and you'll see them in every Carrefour and every
A supermarket or
supermarket,
correct.
hypermarket,
Even
you'll see
grocery
the
stores,
brand. But the digital presence, when we started working with them, was not that strong. And over a period of, let's say, 1.5 year, we've been able to support them into growing their online channel as well. Similarly, I work with a lot of fashion brands. A fashion brand called Carter and White. They have stores across 3 countries, and they're one of the UAE's first high-end luxury fashion brand, grown in and owned by Dubai entrepreneur as well, having backings from government entities as well, and the startup incubators. But then they've grown into a very large brand, and that is going globally. So that is also a high-end luxury brand that we're working with. And
talking about the marketing strategies that you equip with these particular brands or verticals.
So yeah, our main strategy are 2 things. One is obviously to digitally transform them into having their own e-commerce store. So one is mainly to establish their e-commerce store into something that is that can provide conversions to the brand itself. Like how you see these stores in malls in Dubai, they're very they're very beautiful. They have this amazing look and feel and everything. But when you look into their websites, most of the time, the websites do not, they
Speak itself for the brand.
They do not speak for the brand. So that is one thing that I notice in most of the brands struggling to do it, because they are fashion first, they're not tech first. So that is where we come in to provide them a complete solution of digital transformation, starting from making their website looking amazing. We're a Shopify partner in the region. We work on improving the website, the whole funnel of the website, the checkout process, making sure it's simplified. Then we start from there. We look into their social media strategy. We look into their paid media strategy. We look into their SEO, and then we look into their marketing automation. So it's a whole
spectrum, not single.
So it's not just like focusing on one.
Understood.
So if any of these things fall, then your business will
eventually decline. Correct.
So this is something that we're looking into. We look into the trends, and we like to have, as I said, the content is the key, but you need to have a very strong back to be able to support that content. So if either of these things fall, it doesn't work for the brand.
That's wonderful, isn't it, guys? So we understood that the involvement in digital marketing, and particularly how they choose their clients who don't have a presence digitally but well-known brands. So it's a very interesting market to explore. So having said that, Mr. Raheel, what gaps or opportunities exist in the digital marketing domain? Because if you look at our students who are currently pursuing their bachelor's and master's, this entrepreneurship as well as digital marketing are considered to be common subjects for irrespective of the domain that you are studying. So having said that, those who are interested to become future entrepreneurs, like in this digital marketing sector or domain alone, what are the gaps which have been unexplored, and how these students can, or what are the skills these students need to develop to become successful entrepreneurs in the future?
So one of the main things that I see that a lot of new people they struggle with is the confidence to be on in front of everyone. And this is something that's going on, and that's more important now than ever. So there are some technical skills, there are some communication skills. So both of these have to go hand on hand.
So communication skills, we all know that we talk about the 4 domains. But since you discussed about technical skills, could you make it more precise so these students who are going to be looking at this podcast, eventually they will have an opportunity to gain or learn these skills. So if you could be more precise about the technical
Yeah, so
skills.
what I would say in terms of the technical skills is it's ever evolving. Yeah, I consider myself to be still a student of digital marketing because things evolve so fast. There's an integration of AI, there's new thing, like metaverse was a big thing in 2020 to 2022. Now this has declined and the AI is the new big thing. So it always evolves. There are new channels that always come in. So what I would suggest to students is to keep learning, keep educating themselves with the curriculum, and then extra as well whenever they have time. And there are so many available opportunities to learn. It doesn't have to be
Confined to a classroom setting.
confined to a classroom. They can go out on YouTube, and they don't have to take these. One thing I would say is not to take these low cost bad influence. If you see somebody in a driving in a Ferrari, that is not going to work for you because
it's not the
Yeah.
correct thing to watch in terms of.
I mean, like there are a lot of fake entrepreneurs that I can tell you out there, right?
Yeah, correct.
And if somebody is doing really amazing on, let's say, drop shipping, they're not going to be selling a course for drop shipping because they're already making millions. So what I would suggest to students is there are a lot of free resources available out there. You can just go on YouTube, search how can I do e-commerce business, how can I set up a Shopify store, how do I learn digital marketing, what is SEO. You go on to Google, and that is where I actually learned the digital myself. So back in 2008, when I started learning about digital marketing, there was no course in my country about digital marketing. So what I did was I went on, I learned about what WordPress is, I learned about what AdSense is, I learned about what SEO is online, and then implemented it and started earning good money from it. And then later on, I realized, okay, there are jobs available. This is actually an industry that you can go to. So this is something that the students also need to analyze and see is that there are a lot of opportunities and possibilities. They just have to look into the right places. They have to see it on the right places and not just believe anybody who's showing off millions of dollars and in a private jet showing pictures. Most of the time it's fake. I wouldn't call it 100%, but most of the time
Spot on, Mr. Raheel. So thank you very much, Mr. Raheel. It was an interesting, insightful, informative session. I believe the students who are going to look into this recording would learn a lot about entrepreneurship and particularly the strategies that have been equipped in the digital marketing industry. So thank you very much, Mr. Raheel. It was a pleasure having you with us here. And yes, would you like to say something, Mr. Raheel?
Yeah, it was a pleasure, was all mine, and thank you for having me here as well. And what I would say to the students is only one thing: is to keep learning, keep thriving, keep going and going after achieving success, because that is one thing that can reshape of who you are and that can reshape your entire personality. I was a student once, and there's a lot of journey that you have to go through, the hardships and everything, but I would just say there's a very famous line that I always remember whenever I'm going through the hardships, and that line is actually from a cartoon movie calling Finding Nemo, where that Dory is always like, just keep swimming and just keep swimming. So what I would say is that whenever I have hard times, I just keep thinking myself, you have to keep swimming through it, and that actually can make you, go through these hard times and not having that, mental breakdown. So whenever you're feeling down, just say this is gonna pass, and greater days are ahead, and that's what happens. And I've had multiple of these, misfortunes with myself, having run an e-commerce business, great e-commerce business, and then was suddenly, it just I have to exit it. But then I went back, I started back again, and then I had another hardship, and then I started back again. So this is something that's a part of life. You should never give up. Keep striving, keep struggling, just keep swimming. Yeah, thank you very much.
Right. So as correctly said by Mr. Raheel, failures are the stepping stones for success. Guys, thank you very much for watching this episode or with Britts Talk. So thank you again from Britts Talk. Let us meet on a new episode. Have a nice day. Thank you and bye.